I'm going to help you understand how to play the rogue effectively in Dark and Darker. Now, at this point, it's just play tests. This video is made in February, so if you're watching this like a year from now, maybe it won't make so much sense, but we'll see. It depends how much they change things. Okay, so the rogue generally has two play styles. There's the hiding play style, and then there's the basically killing people play style, which will still usually involve hiding, because it's all about getting an ambush on people. But really, it comes down to which way you want to play rogue. Do you want to just kill other players and just go in kamikaze and then try to stealth and disappear and get out and just be an aggressive nuisance? Or do you just want to collect wealth and, get a bunch of money and stuff like that and slowly build up wealth? And then also there's an element of like, how good are you mechanically at the game? Because it's really going to matter for rogue. It actually matters a lot. So like, if you actually are insanely good at games like Mordhau or something, then yeah, in theory, you could actually do both. You could just harass people and just kill like groups of 3 people and stuff and get tons of loot and get out or something. But generally, you're going to pick and choose between having fun and killing people or, doing a run where you are just being careful and getting money, which is more being stealthy. Now, which way you want to play is going to come down to 2 things, your skills and your perks, and I guess a third thing, which is what gear you have available. If you don't have any gear, it's really hard to just kill people without, it's hard to just pop in and just kill someone suddenly. The quality of your weapons, daggers or whatever specifically, as a rogue matters. Well, it matters a lot for all classes, but for a rogue, it really matters because your job as a rogue is to appear out of nowhere, stab someone like 5 or 6 times, and they die instantly, and then you run away. That's like the ideal way to play as a solo rogue, at least. As a team, it's different as a team. There's a lot of different nuance to the combos of characters and things, but if you're playing by yourself, at least, it's just, you pop in and you want to kill someone instantly. Now, if you have the default daggers, that's not really going to happen. It's going to take like 12 head stabs or something, depending on who you're trying to stab, in order to actually take them out of the game. So, assuming if you have good gear, yeah, you can go for kills. If you don't have good gear, I would recommend just playing stealthily and getting some money and then buying some good gear and then playing to kill people. But it's up to you. It's whatever you want to do to have fun. So generally, for your perks, there are 4 to 5 perks that are for stealth, and then there are 4 to 5 perks for DPSing and just killing people. So generally, let's start with hiding. Okay, so for the one where you just want to be invisible and just, let people walk by you and loot things and just steal things, loot, people after fights and things or whatever, and just play stealthily. Then the perks that you're going to want are, first off, you're going to want Creep, which reduces, this is once you're level 20 and have all your slots unlocked, so you can have 4. You're going to want Creep, which significantly reduces the sound of footsteps when moving while walking or crouching, which makes it much easier to get around without being noticed, which then makes you less likely to get into fights and get damaged, and you don't need to bring as many healing pots and things. So if you're purely playing just to collect some money so you can get money and then go DPS, that's a great one to have. More importantly than that, though, the bread and butter of playing stealthily is stealth. What it does is if you're hiding, it lets you move 10 steps while crouching or slow walking, and you'll still be able to be invisible. After the 10th step, then you'll pop out of invisibility. But this helps so much for turning invisible and then like sneaking back past people, and they run right through the door and then don't realize you went right past them and things. Like, it's so good for staying alive as a stealthy rogue. And then another thing that is really good for just staying alive and just looting and getting out is hidden pockets. And this one makes it so the potions and stuff on your waist do not appear, which is super nice because that is one of the easiest ways to spot someone in a dark room. You can turn off all the lamps you want, all the torches you want, but if you have a potion on your belt, they're going to see you no matter what. It just glows in this game, or unless they ever change it, but they haven't changed it yet. And then the last 2 are, you don't really need these. It'd probably be better to get something else. But if you were going to go full blown with this, you could get pickpocket and it would be hilarious. It's not practical, but what you could do, and I thought of this, I'm going to try this on the next playtest, is going stealthing on top of a treasure chest, and then when they loot it, you pickpocket them and steal something. I don't know if it would work, but it'd be hilarious to try. Outside of that, actually pulling it off would be extremely difficult. Other than stealthing by a door, maybe. And then when they go to open the door, you pickpocket them. Like, you could pull it off, probably. I definitely want to try it in the next playtest. Anyway, and then trap detection is kind of not really... I mean, you probably better get a DPS one for killing mobs and things. But trap detection lets you highlight ranger traps, which is not really important. But then we're going to stay on the top. We'll get back to the perks because we'll talk more about, hiding with those ones too. But the skills, there's 2 that are really good for hiding. And then there's one that you need no matter what. Whether you're hiding or not, you want hide, okay? This is irrelevant of what the other one's going to be. Like, yes, you can go without hide, but it's silly not to. You're not playing to your strengths as a rogue. Hide is such an overpowered ability. You should get it if you're actually playing seriously at all, because you can just become invisible. You're revealed when you attack or take an action, but if you have that one perk, you can move around a little bit before you appear. So yeah, get hide, especially if you're playing stealthy. But then, if you're going to play stealthy, the main choice is, if you're just going in to get money and loot and you're not trying to kill people that much, is to get smoke bomb, which is my preferred, which is a smoke grenade. It makes a bunch of smoke. It makes it extremely easy to confuse people. You just throw it in like a tight hallway and then go invisible somewhere. Or it's like almost like having a second invis, because it makes it, if you have some distance between you and them, you can throw down a smoke bomb and then they get slowed. You get some distance. They get confused. They don't know which way you went. You put it like a crossroads of like a 4-way or something, and they don't know what happened. So it's just like, it's not the same as hide, obviously, but if you're playing stealthy, it can definitely help you just escape. It's just really cool. The other one would be rupture, because what you can do is you can be invisible and just pop up and stab someone a few times and then run away. So if you're playing for the stealthy, just like, weave in and out of danger kind of play, then rupture is kind of good, because if you're not actually going for the kill, you just go and get proc a damage over time on them real fast, stab them a few times, and then run and close the door behind you. And rogues can close and open doors so much faster than everyone that you can just close the door and run, and then open the door and close the door and run, and you're gaining distance from them on every door open close cycle. So then as soon as you get stealth back, if they're still chasing you, go and you open door, close it, go somewhere, hide, they run by, and then you start stabbing some guy again and run away, and they just keep screwing with them forever. It's really hilarious and fun to do, to be honest with you. So perks and skills, that's one way to go. That's like if you're just trying to get loot, okay? But now let's pivot this to, what if you're just trying to kill people and you don't even care about escaping? You just want to get tons of kills, and if you get out, it's fine, but you just want to PvP, you know what I mean? Or you just want to, kill people and try to get out. I mean, it's up to you. It's how you think, what you think get away with. Me personally, I just think it's fun to try to stab the hell out of people, and then whether I live or not is fun for me personally when I play rogue. But everybody's got their own thing. All right, so if you're trying to DPS, let's start with the perks. So first off, backstab is broken unless they nerf it in the next playtest or by launch. Because if they don't turn around and you do 30% more damage while stabbing in the back of the head, they're dead so fast. If you actually have blue daggers equipped or something, they're just dead. Like, it's over. I'm like, if you like purple daggers on or something, that combined with some of the other stuff we're going to go over, is insane. And then another one that is really good is poisoned weapon. And a successful attack applies poison, does 4 magic damage over 4 seconds. So it does 1 damage per second, and it can stack 5 times. So if you stab them 4 times, or 5 times, then they're taking 5 damage every second, sort of depending on the way that procs and renews or whatever. But basically, just ups your DPS a crap ton. So if you pop out of stealth and you're stabbing someone in the back of the head with backstab and you poisoned weapon, they're dead so fast. It's crazy. If they don't instantly turn around on the first stab, they're in trouble. Then another really good one to combo with this is ambush. The first attack within 3 seconds after being released from stealth deals 50% additional weapon damage as damage. Just another thing to pop out of stealth, hit him in the back of the head, and if you combine it with backstab, that's a 50 plus a 30. I don't know which way it does the math or not, but the first stab out of stealth hits him in the back of the head. If you're lucky enough for that, then that first one's gonna just chonk him so hard. And then from DPS, you can also get it depends. Like, you either want to get Dagger Expert or Stealth. I'd probably be realistically better to get Stealth, but there's Dagger Expert, which increases your physical damage bonus by 5% when attacking with a dagger, which will make you do crazy damage, but then you can't move while stealth. And getting in a good position to actually do the damage is more practical, so I personally would recommend, for your fourth one, being stealth, because then you can, go invisible, and they, run past you. You can walk out into them and then start stabbing right on them. Otherwise, you have to go invisible and hope they literally walk up on you, or that you come out of stealth and they don't notice you. So realistically, stealth is the best fourth perk in this combination, so you can get in a good position and actually deal your damage per second. Then when it comes to skills, I still recommend hide. I think it'd be completely asinine not to get hide, but at the same time, you don't have to, obviously. But if you're playing super serious, especially as a solo, but regardless, if you're playing super serious, hide is just so good. The only exception really would be if you're playing in a 3-man and you're basically playing a rogue as a DPS that doesn't need to go invisible. So like you have a cleric following you around, holding his heal at all times, ready to heal you, so you're a tank almost, then sure, I guess, but it'd probably be better just to get hide. And then what you can do to combo with high, the best thing here for killing people is weak point attack. This thing is so strong, unless they nerf it by the next playtest. So when the next, and like, it doesn't even cancel if you miss. So like you do it, or in theory, at least what it says it does. Never really tested, come to think of it. But yeah, so the next attack that actually hits someone, it'll do 50% additional weapon damage. So if you use that, come out of stealth, you have the other perks. That first hit's going to hit for like 30 or something. Then, if that hit is successful, the target's defense is reduced by 50% for 5 seconds. So when you combo this with everything else, you come out of stealth, stab him in the back of the head, and start stabbing them in the head, they're going to just melt. And if you have like blue or purple weapons, they're dead. They're just dead like instantly. So DPS, that's going to be your build. That's just the build. That is like the build to go with right now, unless they change these. We'll see. They said they didn't really change much in the next playtest. And if you're watching this a year from now, playtest won't even matter. The game will actually be out. But anyway, but we'll see. I mean, again, all these numbers are subject to change. And if they do, I'll just make an updated video later on in the future, whenever that day comes. But yeah, so those are the perks and the skills, and that's really important for determining which way you want to do it. And you just gotta remember, there's 2 different ways to play. So with all that being said, and now we talked about the builds and things, I don't really talk about gear. I mean, gear's pretty straightforward. You just put on the best gear that you can reasonably get. Obviously, if you find ones that have certain things like agility or strength or move speed or something, that's good. You got to be careful not to have too much move speed reduction equipped. Don't, like, when you put something on, see about how much move speed it gives or whatever. One of the best gear pieces you can get as a rogue is light foot boots, because rogues are already so fast, and if you get even more move speed, it's just crazy how fast you can move. It's actually nuts. So, but gear generally it's pretty straightforward to figure out. You just want to move fast, have agility, have strength, and maybe was it resourcefulness that helps you unlock the locks faster? Anything you want to just build upon your strength. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably the way to go. But you'll figure that out as you go. What way you like to build your gear. So as for play style, if you're just playing to get out, then you should definitely just watch my ultimate solo guide that I made. I'll link that in the description of this video below the first paragraph. But yeah, so as a solo, it's more about being patient. It depends, being solo and wanting to make money still. It's about being patient and just letting people all loot things and stuff, and just keep coming in from the edges, have a bunch of potions and stuff, so you can kind of hang out in the plague when you have to for a little bit. And then just kind of trying to find the right opportunities and just listening, being quiet, which is why that one thing that reduces the sound of your footsteps is good. You can creep around, you can listen for other people's footsteps and noises, and then if they're going to come up on you, turn invis, they don't just walk right past you, you know, you break crates and things, loot things, get out with a bunch of stuff. It's pretty easy, actually, as a rogue. Like, it's really easy to just have people walk right past you and stuff, and just, like, everything be fine. So it's really about, like, again, for how to play the solo and get out with money, definitely watch the ultimate solo guide that I have, because that one actually goes through like a full example as like a fighter. So as a rogue, it only gets better than that. As far as how easy it is to just get out with a bunch of money. So then, as DPS, it just depends. Are you playing with a team? Are you playing solo? Apparently, they're adding a solo mode in this next playtest. I don't know if they'll keep it or not, but assuming they keep a solo mode, then the things I'm going to explain will make, be even easier for that. So I'll kind of explain for 3 minutes. So if you're going to try to play against 3-mans as a solo, what you generally do is you still got to be stealthy. You don't want them to ever know you exist. And then you get into a position like near a door or hallway or something, or in a hallway. And then right when they're coming up on you, you turn invisible. And then when they walk right past you, you pick the squishiest person, so like a wizard or a rogue or something. And right when they walk by, you pop your ability that we talked about for the increased damage. And you stab in the back of the head, start stabbing their brains out as fast as you can. And if you can, you hopefully will kill them before they even react. And then you immediately run to a door, run out, close it. And then if they chase you, just keep going and open a door and close. You can open and close doors so fast as a rogue that unless they have a rogue, they're not going to catch up to you, basically. So then you just run for your life. And then once you get stealth back, if they're still chasing, you close the door, run through, go around a corner, and just stealth. And then they'll run right past you, and when they do, you just start stabbing the next guy, and you kill him, and then it's a 1v1. And then do you want to go stealth again, or do you want to, you kind of play it like that, like this just crazy, cracked out assassin who just appears out of nowhere, kills someone, and then runs away, and then appears, kills someone. Now it's a 1v1. Like, that's the ideal way as a solo. Now, if you're playing with only solos, if they keep the solo mode they're adding, or make some other iterations of it, then you just appear out of nowhere and kill someone, and then it's over. And they're dead, and then you loot them, and then if someone else appears and they're chasing you, you run, close the door behind you, and just keep running until you get your stealth back. And you just do this forever. I mean, it sounds so simplistic because it really is pretty simple. I mean, I picked up Rogue right at the end of the last playtest, and oh my god, it was so much fun. I was up till like 4 in the morning. I couldn't stop, man. It was actually hilarious. It's just you can just do whatever you want. You just run away, and then go invisible, and then appear on someone, and then run away, and then drop on someone's head and start stabbing them in the face or something. Like, it's surprisingly easy. So generally, that's how it's gonna go as a rogue. That's what you're gonna want to aim to do, and everything you can just run away from. Like, your biggest enemy is gonna be a skeleton archer or something, right? Like, or ranger or something. And the biggest counter as a rogue is probably gonna be fighter. Is probably the biggest counter, because you can't quite kill them before they get a react, and then they can actually outrange you depending on their weapon and stuff, because daggers have such short range. Barbarians are also kind of annoying, but everything else, I mean, rangers, if they get some distance, if you don't appear on them, they can be a problem, but if you appear right on them, they're not a problem. Clerics can't really defend themselves. Like, Rogue really has a big advantage. Rogue's really strong, honestly, at least the way it was balanced in the December playtest, but we'll see how it balances out as they keep going. But anyway, that's everything I got for you on builds and tips and general play strategies as a rogue. Hopefully that helps you out for this playtest. Hopefully now you can kick some ass as rogue in this next playtest, or if you're watching this in the future when the game's actually out, hopefully this video helps you out just so you can kick some ass as rogue in the actual full version of the game. But there you go. That's my rogue guide. Hopefully it helps you out. Now you have a better idea of how to build and play rogue in Dark and Darker. By the way, if this video helped you out and you want to return the favor, then consider going and checking out Art Gallery Simulator. It's a game I'm working on right now. I'll have a link to this in the description of this video, and you can add it to your wish list, which helps me out a lot. You don't have to buy it necessarily when it comes out, but you could if you want. It's a game where you get to run an art gallery. You go from like slums to middle class to owning an art museum. Buy tons of different arts, you know, expand and organize your stores and upgrade them and stuff like that. It should hopefully be done March or April. I'll probably delay it till April. But yeah, if you want to return the favor and help me out, just go to this page and add it to your wish list, and that's it. And it helps me out a lot. Or if you're watching this way in the future, you know, consider buying it. If not, that's fine too. But yeah, that would help me out a lot.